Well, the city of Cape Town has headed to court following what it terms interference by Police Minister Bheki Cele during a film shoot on the beach yesterday. The minister was doing spot checks of beachgoers' compliance in the Western Cape. Well, for the latest on this unfolding story, let's cross live now to our reporter, my colleague Aisha Ismail, who's on that windy stretch of the Camps Bay beach this morning. Aisha, well, I see some policemen are there next to you. I think they are monitoring what is happening there. And there's a legal battle now looming between the people who own that film set and the Minister of Police.
That is indeed so, Pradan. I'm literally holding on to myself because it's so windy here on Camps Bay Beach. But yes, I spoke to the owner of the production company this morning, and she was saying to me that yesterday Minister Bheki Cele was doing a site inspection. He then came and spoke to her and told her that they need to pack up and go because they are flouting the regulations. She then said to him, but we have a permit which was issued by the City of Cape Town. I then spoke to the City of Cape Town and they said that they had issued this permit to this film crew and to other film crews in terms of the regulations. Now, in terms of Regulation 69, I'm told that film productions are allowed to take place on beaches on provision that there is no live performances, no live music and no festivals. However, film crews do have an exemption because this is regarded as work. This is not a recreational activity, and the City of Cape Town is adamant that they did not flout the rules.
Okay, Aisha, let's just take a listen and get our viewers who might have missed what happened. We have that bite of what took place on the beach yesterday. Let's just listen and watch this.
So the film shoot is operating in terms of our new SOP. We produced a new standard operating procedure with the film industry so that they could carry on working, something we've talked about in the media quite a bit. This is a R1.5 million film shoot, so generating quite a few jobs, and it does operate completely in terms of that standard operating procedure. So we're quite excited about these. We managed to get going before many of the other cities around the world, and that managed to get some of our industry working again. Because unfortunately, we're losing way too many jobs in this whole process. So it's the lives versus livelihoods to see if you can do both safely. But for the rest of it, you see law enforcement is present at all of our beaches.
No, before that,
we've got a fairly good distribution.
It's an extra activity that has been called to be no more extra activity on the beach on this particular case. People coming to the beach, I must concede. I'm glad about the social distancing, this one I'm glad about, but I'm absolutely not glad about this one, which for me, it flies on the face of the regulation, having an extra activity on the beach, which the President and the regulation are saying they can be.
Okay, we're going to have to agree to have a different interpretation on that. This isn't a permitted event. So the film shoot is permitted. It's gone through our whole process.
And permitted by the city?
By the city, so it is an officially permitted event.
The city cannot override the national
We're not suggesting we're overriding it, sir. We're functioning within the parameters of those regulations. We're highly cognizant of the regulations, sir.
PJ, this can't continue.
It's JP, sir.
JP, it doesn't matter. But this can't continue. You just shut it down before I shut it down. Because you are breaking the law, you know that your regulations do not allow you to go with.
I'm happy to take this up with the film officer, but I've just spoken to them and they've assured me that it is well within the regulations. The head of our film office, Mrs. D'Souza, I've just spoken to her, and she's confirmed that it's well within the regulations, sir. So I'll check with her again.
Which regulation?
The national regulations that
what are they saying?
So I'll check with her again and make sure that she's comfortable within the regulations.
Until we sit down and we agree on that, this can continue. Okay.
Right. Okay, Aisha, we just showed our viewers, Aisha, again, that discussion between JP on behalf of the city, the Minister, Bheki Cele, clarifying that the national regulations trump anything locally. But there's an issue now, and you've got a guest to speak to there about what's happening next.
That is indeed, and I'm now joined by Tony Murray, who is the owner of the production company, and she also said to me earlier that after 6 o'clock last night, the police actually came down to come and tell them that they can continue with their filming, and this morning when they set up and while they were busy filming, the police then came down to tell them to stop filming, and they started breaking down your structures.
Yes, they apparently got a phone call from the National Commissioner this morning that has told them to shut the shoot down. They came and told us that we had to shut down. We asked them why, and they have yet to give us a reason. I asked for a warrant, we asked for a citation. There's been no reason given except that it's come from above.
And how does this make you feel? You have, what, 50 crew and 20 cast?
I'm very disappointed. I'm very angry. We're doing everything we can to try and work around this so that our international clients get the shoot that they've come to South Africa to get. But it's been very frustrating and very hard because I have not been given a reason as to why I've been shut down. I have all my legal paperwork. I'm completely COVID compliant. We have everything in place that we're supposed to have, and nobody is telling us why we're being shut down.
Now, you told me earlier that after you were shut down yesterday by the National Police Commissioner, you were then paid a visit just after 6 to say that you can continue shooting.
We spent the whole day here going back and forth with SAPS. We were allowed to work at about 2 o'clock and then they shut us down again. So we waited and waited. We spoke to the captain of Camps Bay. We spoke to the brigadier. Then we were told Bheki Cele was coming back to meet with us, so I waited. At 6 o'clock, the brigadier returned, and he came down and he said we were allowed to continue, that there would be a police presence, and I said that was absolutely fine, I don't mind. In fact, the gentleman who told me that he was shutting me down this morning was present and admitted that we did have the permission. So we had the permission. We wouldn't have come back if we didn't have the permission.
And just in terms of your financial losses?
Well, this one shoot day costs about 1.5 million rand, and we've had to pay all the crew to come out today, and now we have to send them all home until we can understand what is happening and why it's happening. We have to pay all the suppliers, all the food, everything. So it's a huge financial loss for us and for our clients, and of course it doesn't look very good for South Africa. We have an amazing film industry which is now being stopped. You know, we're not allowed to work.
Are you also heading to court along with the City of Cape Town today?
I believe they would like me to be part of their interdict, and I'm actually waiting to meet a lawyer now to discuss what my options are in terms of what's happening here, because I haven't had any legal reason as to why we're being shut down.
Thank you so much for your time. So, Bradan, there you have it. The City of Cape Town will be heading to court today to try and overturn this decision taken by National Minister Bheki Cele. I have been sent the regulations, and from what I can see, Bradan, in terms of Regulation 6.9, the only activities prohibited on the beaches that are opened, these are no festivals, no live music, and no live performances. And I'm told by the City of Cape Town's Permit Office that this is not regarded as a recreational activity. This is work, and it was on this basis that the City of Cape Town's Film Office issued permits to film crews, because it is regarded as work and it contributes to the economy of the Western Cape.
Okay, Aisha, before I let you go, very briefly, do you have an inkling what time this matter will be heard in court? I would guess it will be dealt with on an urgent basis.
That is indeed so. I don't have a time, but I do know that the city, as you say, will be heading to court on an urgent basis, because they say to me that they do have 7 other international crews also. They've issued permits to these crews, and they also need to continue with their filming, and they can't have them prevented from filming either. So this matter will be heard on an urgent basis. I must also say that I did send a message to the South African Police Services to get their side of the story, and I am waiting for a response from SAPS.
Yeah, thanks, Aisha Ismail, and thanks for staying on the ground despite the wind there at Camps Bay. Thank you very much, Aisha Ismail. That unfolding story. Okay, let's stay.